What's up, it's your boy Murda Beatz, and I'm here in the London, UK with ProducerCulture.
Great, so how are you today?
I'm good, you know what I'm saying?
You said this is the second time that you've been in London.
Mm-hmm.
So what brought you to London this time?
So this time, Warner Chapel did a camp, and I was in Portugal, so I was like, man, I might as well just pull up through London, say what up to everyone again, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Last night I was in the studio, I saw like a bunch of people from London that like I didn't see since like 2017. They're coming up and like, what up? I barely recognize some people. I was like, damn.
So it was more just like a pass by trip, it wasn't anything in particular or?
No, like we kind of planned to come out here though. But I wish I could stay for wireless because I know everyone's out here, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like London gives me a lot of love. So like, you know what I'm saying, I appreciate y'all and shit. I think it's because the Canadian-London connection we got, you know?
Yeah. When you come, it's just like, you know, celebration. That's good though. No, I'm glad you like it here though.
Yeah, it's dope.
Just a little bit about yourself. How did you get into music? How did you get into producing?
Yeah, so I grew up in Canada. I grew up in a small town called Fort Erie.
Okay.
Like it was like 10 minutes outside of Niagara Falls, like 30,000 people.
Oh, wow.
I grew up, my parents always playing rock music and stuff, so that's like where I get my inspiration from. And my dad always played guitar. And he wanted me to play guitar, but I'm left-handed. So I couldn't play his guitars and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just went to like playing drums and like beats and stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I started playing drums, and then I'll just like listen to music. I put on headphones, play along to music, taught myself drums and stuff. And then when I started to get older, I started liking punk rock, Travis Barker remixes, and then like started getting into like rap music and stuff, like 50 Cent, all that, Dr. Dre beats, stuff like that. And that's kind of like what got me in the door. And then obviously like the whole trap era, that's when I really want to start like making beats. Like I want to cook some stuff up, you know? Yeah. So that's how I started.
So do you know like anything like any music theory or anything like that, or do you think that's even important as a producer?
Obviously, like I feel like it is important to a certain extent, but like I never like learned it, you know? Like I remember like I was pretty good at drums, so like I wanted to go take some lessons and stuff. And then I started taking lessons, and they were trying to teach me theory. Like you open the book, you read the notes, like all that, and I was like, no, I don't like this. So I stopped after like 2 lessons. I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like music is about a feeling, you know?
So you started off as a beat maker. So throughout your career, how did you transition from a beat maker to a producer?
When you start to get in the room with the artist, and then you start to have like an opinion, and you can like critique a record based on like your experiences and stuff, I feel like those are like the kind of things that like make you a producer. But I feel like everybody has a different like way to say like, oh, what's a producer? What makes you a beat maker to a producer? Everyone has like a different opinion on that, you know?
So for you, it's more having a say in what the artist does and the direction they're going in.
Yeah, or like an artist will like send me a verse on my beat and tell me go get these other guys on it, and I'll go put them on it, and then like construct a new verse of like a new beat part for the verse and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And then just like really produce it out.
Obviously I've just watched a few interviews about you, and I've heard that the way you got into the industry was just through networking. Would you say that's the only thing you did, or like how would you explain your approach to that?
Definitely like getting to artists and stuff, I was using everything on the internet. I was using Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, anything I could, and that was like really like how I got in the game, because I didn't have like no connections through like family or friends or something. Like I didn't know anybody, so everything was just off of like Twitter and the internet and stuff.
And with producing and beat making, was that literally your only plan? Like, was there any other direction you wanted to go in, anything, even if it's outside of music? Was there anything else you wanted to do, or was it just tunnel vision, I'm going to be a producer, I'm going to make beats?
I knew I wanted to make money.
Okay.
So like I was gonna go to school for business, but like I'm so glad I didn't, because like I found out, like then I started like making beats around the same time. Like everyone at my school, the guidance counselor and stuff was like, you gotta like figure out what you want to do. And I was like, fuck, like I don't really want to go to school, you know? But then I started making beats at the end of high school, and then I was like, I just knew this is what I wanted to do. My mom was always worried. She was always like, no, like you should have like a backup plan, like you should go to school still. I was like, but then if I have a plan B, like my plan A is not gonna work. So I just like stuck with just making beats, and I was like, I remember when I made my first beat, it was so bad, it was terrible, but I was just like, this is what I want to do. Like I knew this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Like when I first wanted to be a producer and stuff, like it wasn't even like cool like that to be a producer. It was more like something that like was like a fairy tale. Like it doesn't seem like it's possible, you know what I mean? It was like impossible. Everyone told me it wouldn't work, like I couldn't do it, like, you know. So now I feel like it's like from seeing people come up off the internet and stuff, it shows that like it's anyone can reach it, anyone can do it from anywhere. Like there's no excuse, like you don't have to be from like a big city, you don't have to have like a family member in like the Temptations or something. Like it's like you could literally just do this for, like you could be anybody in the world and figure it out, you know.
With like a platform like ProducerCulture, do you feel like that's opened the door a lot more for a lot of producers, and do you feel like that would have probably even helped you along your career if that was what you had?
Yeah, no, for sure, because you guys are putting a spotlight on the producers, right? And like there's a lot of producers like myself. I go on there all the time, I watch stuff, you know, like you guys might post somebody, I'm like, oh, this kid's fire. Then I come to the UK, I hit him up, get in the studio, like you never know, you know.
So it's a good way just to connect, and I feel like it will bring a lot of people to the surface, a lot of hidden talent.
No, for sure.
From what you've told me so far, it sounded quite smooth sailing, sounded quite easy. Were there any challenges that you faced or any kind of bump in the road at all?
I feel like, like any story of success, it's always like this, where when people look at it, it looks like it was like this, you know? But I don't know, I was just like really just trying to just do my thing. Whenever like there was like a fork in the road or someone was like, nah, don't do this, don't do that, or like, don't go to Chicago, it's too dangerous, or like whatever, like it's like I just kept going, you know? And I feel like looking back on everything, I would be like, holy, like I wouldn't like tell someone to like go to like the hood in Chicago and like chill and like do all this stuff, like, but it's just like how bad I wanted it, and like me being like a young kid, like I was just like
willing to take a risk.
Yeah, you know, like it was like everything, it was just like so fun to me, and it was like what I want to do, so it was like exciting, you know. And then like every time, like I kept working hard and keeping my head down and sacrificing everything in my life just to focus on music. Everything was just working out, so it was just like I just knew I was on the right path, you know. So
with you saying that, what were your main musical influences, or what inspired you while you were making beats, producing? Yeah, so like when I first like was growing up, it was like rock music a lot, and then obviously I like the drums and stuff, the beats, and then it was like 50 Cent and like Dr. Dre, and then it was like Lex Luger, Zaytoven, Southside, Shawty Red, like that whole trap era. Boy Wonder, obviously from Canada and stuff. Now I feel like what inspires me the most is like upcoming artists and stuff like that. Yeah. You know, like you gotta keep your ear to the streets and like what's upcoming. Cause like all like the guys I came up with, like I found the Migos on like live mixtapes before they were super hot. Yeah. And like my first couple songs with Travis, like he was like almost like on SoundCloud still and stuff, you know? Oh, wow. So that whole SoundCloud era and like live mixtapes era, Dat Piff era was like amazing time. Yeah. You gotta just stay young and keep working with the youth and appreciate the youth. And I feel like just like traveling, listen to different music, like take in different cultures and stuff, like be educated to like the music that like the world creates, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been like traveling to Brazil, I was just in Portugal, I'm here now, like I'm moving around a lot and just like really like taking in like different culture and like how that sounds, you know? Did you listen to any of the Portuguese music, like I don't know, Kazomba, or did you hear any of that? I heard like a little bit, yeah. But like what I'm really inspired by right now is like Brazilian funk and stuff. Okay. Like, I feel like that shit's so hard. Yeah. So what point will you say, yeah, this is for me and I'm gonna do it? Probably like at the beginning, like 3 months into producing, I got like Soulja Boy on one of my beats. Oh, okay. And at the time, that's what you need after 3 months. I was like, yo, like this is he's a major artist. He's a big artist. So I was like, damn, like that's dope. And then like I started working with guys around Chief Keef, and like just how like I feel like I was manifesting everything. Like when I was like even like at the beginning, you know, like I was like putting my mind to something, saying I wanted to do it, and then I was getting it done. Even with the upcoming guys, I was like, okay, like you know what I'm saying. Once you start to figure that out, you start to like learn and know yourself. And you start to like understand that like you can manifest anything at a young age. Like that's like the most dangerous mind in the world, you know, like a young kid that understands that he can have anything, you know. What tips can you give to up and coming producers to get their own unique sound or something special about them? I feel like just take your time with like picking sounds and sound choice, like drum choice.
like sound choice for melodies, like all that stuff. I feel like it's like very important to have good taste in what you're like picking and how you're producing music, because you don't want to just sound too generic, because everyone's trying to do the same stuff now. So it's like, how are you going to differentiate yourself? You know?
Yeah.
That's like the most important thing.
And with that, with picking sounds, and cause I saw that you've got your own sound kit as well. So how did you make yours unique, and what advice would you give to people that are going to go and buy one or using the sounds? Like, what advice would you give them?
Just kind of like do what feels right and trust your gut, you know? I feel like my sound is like a mixture of like the ambience of Toronto and like the grittiness of like the dirty South.
Okay.
You know, because like I like the dirty South drums, but like the melodic like Toronto kind of like stuff going on, you know? Yeah.
And have you heard any of your sounds from the sound kit on any songs, or are you kind of looking forward to that?
Yeah, I heard, it's actually funny, someone downloaded one of my kits and used the melody in one of my kits, and then like Quavo got on it and he dropped it as a song. I was like, that's so funny. I was like, they just downloaded my kit, used my kit, sent it, and then he liked it. It's like, that's how our chemistry is. That's so crazy.
That's really good. That's really cool. Like, it just still made its way there.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
I dropped a plugin too with Slate called Murda Melodies. Like during COVID, I was like, I want to like do like a plugin, and I made this plugin. And it's kind of like a bunch of plugins in one. You can like reverse a sound, you can like EQ it, you can like make it sound hot or cold, and then it's got all these presets. Like you can kind of like warp like a melody or something.
Right.
I like made it 4 melodies, but then when we released it, people were using it to like mix vocals and putting it on like master mix and stuff. I was like, this is crazy. Like I saw like some guy, he tagged me in it, and I watched it, and like he was like mixing like vocals for like a Netflix show, like a cartoon or something. I was like, that's pretty dope. Yeah, because I never even I didn't even think of that. You know, I'm just thinking like for me when I'm working, what can I do to like make something to make my workflow easier? You know.
How can you say that you can be efficient as a producer to get the most work done?
I feel like having like a routine, I feel like is the best thing. Like right now, I don't really have a routine. It's kind of like everywhere. Like when I first started, like when I was first coming up and shit, I was trying to make as many beats as I could make. I was trying to make 20 beats a day, 30 beats a day, 10 beats a day. Now it's like sometimes I'll go like a week without making a beat, you know? But it's just kind of different because now I like DJ, I got brand stuff, I'm traveling, shooting videos. Like it's kind of different, you know? So, but at the end of the day, I feel like I learned this at a young age too. Like this is like a music business, you know, and it's 80% business, 20% skill. It might even be 90-10, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you understand how to like run a business or like how to figure that out, and like, you know, that's like the biggest thing. Because when you first start, it's like you are the boss, you're the CEO, you're the marketing guy, you're this guy, you're the partier, you gotta go party, you gotta go network with people, you gotta like know how to like go in the studio and people like to like attract your energy and like want to work with you, like, you know, like I feel like all that stuff matters. If you go in the studio and someone likes you, they're like, man, I fuck with him, and then like next time they're gonna invite you back to the studio, and then you know what I mean.
At the beginnings, would you say back then it was like a quantity over quality thing, or do you think that? Yeah,
because I was just trying to get better.
Okay.
And a lot of people were telling me like, oh, like wait till you're good enough to send your beats out. But like I got a placement like my first like month with producing.
Yeah.
There was like this rapper YB the Rockstar that was signed to Akon at the time from the Bay.
Okay.
And there was kids in my high school that were listening to him. So I was like, if I can get him or anyone in his rap group on one of my beats, then the kids at my school will start liking my music, and then I'll start building a fan base. So that's what I started out. I was like 17 years old. I got this guy on the song, and like no one really listened to it. And then like when I got him on the record, I was like, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? And then everyone was like, yeah, this kid's just cocky, like his beats aren't good. I could just tell like that's how they were feeling it. And I was like, everyone just doubted me, you know?
Probably been asked this a million times, but the story behind Nice for What? So how did that come about? Why Lauryn Hill? Everything.
So I was in Toronto, and Drake hit me up, like we like planned like to cook up and stuff, so I pulled up on him with my manager, and we were just like chilling, playing 2K and stuff. He was telling me that like he wanted to make a song with like a female vocal sample, And then my manager was like, Lauryn Hill, because like they grew up around the same time and stuff, like they're like the same age. And he was like, oh, like what song? And they're like, X Factor. Then I pulled it up and we found the part, I chopped it up, sampled it, did the drums, and they just started writing to it. And like we made it that night, and we knew it was gonna be huge, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a special one.
And like, what's your thoughts on sampling? Like, do you feel like it does bring different genres, different audiences together?
I feel like sample is amazing, and that's kind of like especially with hip hop and rap, like that's like the origins of it is sampling old vinyls, even like the drum loops and all the hip hop. It's like sampled drums and stuff, you know. Everything comes from sampling, so I don't think there's a problem to do it.
Yeah, no, it's true. I think it's amazing, and like I said, just bring
it's cool,
anyone
you know?
together.
It's
like,
very creative.
Yeah. Okay, so you mentioned that you also do DJing now. So what made you decide to do that? How did you get into that?
People just started like to want to see me. Like, so at first I was like, I don't want to DJ. Like, I never want to DJ. My manager was like, nah, like we gotta DJ. And then like, I think it was like 5 years ago, I got an offer to do a little show for New Year's in Hawaii. So my manager was like, man, like if you do the show, it's a vacation, it's a week vacation in Hawaii, and they just do a little show at the end of it. I was like, all right, fuck it, all right, let's do it. And then I did it. I was like practicing how to DJ like in my hotel room and that sound check before the show and stuff. And then at first, like I was like it's okay, you know. But then I like did a couple tours like 5 years ago, and then I did Coachella. Like I did Coachella this year. I came out at Anita's set, and then I did Coachella like 3 years ago. I brought out like DMX, Ty Dolla $ign, Rich the Kid, and A$AP Ferg. R.I.P. DMX, and that shit was like so incredible. And then like I just feel like over time I started like to enjoy it. I started like to like get more comfortable up there, learn crowd control, like know what to play, you know what I'm saying? So I love DJing now.
Moving on to loop makers. So what's your thoughts on publishing deals?
I feel like publishing deals are good, you know? Like I did the publishing deal, I did my first deal in like 2016, like around when Views came out. And I needed to do a publishing deal because I needed to like be signed to an American company so I could get a work visa to work in America. Right. So that's why I was trying to rush my shit. I remember like back in 2015, I was like going around LA. I was trying to get like a $20,000 pub deal, and like people were like, nah, that's crazy, you know? But publishing deals are good. Just like make sure you have a lawyer, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you're educated on what you're signing. Cause I feel like deals is like game changers, or like they'll break everything, you know? Like you gotta make sure like you know what you're signing and what you're doing, and just like wait for the right time to do stuff, you know? Like whenever you feel like it's right, do it, you know? And don't always go for the biggest bag, go for the relationships.
Okay, so with the project that you produced for Shorty, so how was it producing like a whole entire product for an artist?
I like it, you know, cause you get full control over like what you want to do and stuff. I like used to listen to Shorty like when he first like popped off and stuff, and then my boy ended up coming to LA, and he was like playing a lot of Shorty around me and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I fuck with him. And then like I like reached out to him and stuff, and he was actually in LA at the time. I pulled up on him, and we made like 5 or 6 songs the first night we got in, and then I was like, we might as well just do a tape, because like we did it like we literally made Good Evening. We made like half the project the first time we got in, and then we shot Good Evening like 2 days after that. And then we like got in like a few more times, and like we just like wrapped it up, shot a couple videos and put it up. It was like super easy, it was fun. He's super talented. His melodies are crazy. He can go in the booth freestyle, like he's super talented.
So would you say a lot of your like best work has come from just having like just that good vibe with an artist? Because from what you told me, it just sounds like everything was off the good vibes and everything from you.
Yeah, I feel like, especially like when I'm making beats, I feel like a lot of like my best work comes like randomly and stuff. I feel like when you go to like a big studio or whatever, like you'll make some stuff, but for me I feel like it's like when I'm at my boy's house on like a little table, or like cooking up in a kitchen, or like on some like random stuff, that's when I'm like my best work comes.
And so are you working on a producer album at the moment, or because you've released quite a few singles?
I'm working on something. Right now I'm just kind of putting together singles and putting them out, you know? I just like redid it like a new deal and stuff, so I'm definitely working.
So would you say it's harder to actually work on a producer album than it is for an artist to work on an album? them? Or would you say they're about the same? Or?
I think so. I think 100% it is, because when you work with an artist, you make a fire song, they want it.
Yeah.
All the time. So, you know, kind of like, I feel like a lot of like the rappers and stuff that I work with, they make so much music, so sometimes they'll like forget about a record or something, you know?
Yeah.
So, like even with, like with the record No Mas that I'm dropping like next week, I don't know when this is gonna come out though, but like even that record, like Quavo showed me like this like little idea he did with Pharrell, and then like I hit up Pharrell, he sent me the stems, I like worked on the beat, switched it up a little bit, and then I got Balvin on it and Anita on it, and I thought Quavo was originally gonna use it. Like I put Balvin on it first, I thought he was gonna use it for Culture 3 or something, but he never used it. So then I just kind of like used it, you know, because he just never used it. So I was like, shit, I think this is fire, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of artists, they record so much music, they always just go to like the most recent stuff, you know? So I feel like that's where like the producers can come in and like, you know, the fire ones, like, you know what I mean? Like if someone plays me a bunch of records and I see them 3 months later, I'm gonna remember a couple fire ones, you know? And they're gonna completely forget about them.
Yeah. So what is your current industry price for your beats at the moment?
It depends, like, you know, like 50,000.
Okay.
But if me and a producer that I fuck with are on the beat, then it's gonna be crazy, you know?
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people, I don't know, people don't want to spend that budget, but if you gotta invest in yourself, you know what I mean? So yeah.
So what do you do with artists that don't have that budget? Like if they can't really afford that amount, do you are you open to negotiating?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like if I fuck with them, like we'll work something out, you know?
Yeah. Would you do that? Not even just like from they'll give you something else in exchange, or like
what, like a watch or something?
like as in like I don't know, like vocals and I don't know, just something else. Or
yeah, like with a lot of artists, I be doing swaps.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's like oh, I'll give you, like if someone gives me a record, I'll give them a beat or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if they want this beat, then I'll get like them to do like a verse for me on like a different song or something.
So you created your sound kit, so that's like another way for you as a producer that you made money. What other ways can you say producers can make money apart from just making beats?
There's like a bunch of like mechanical kind of revenue streams, like obviously like performance royalties, publishing, like your BMI ASCAP. You could DJ, you could do merch, you could do drum kits. There's a lot of ways, you know what I mean? You could do fucking like sound music schools or lessons, YouTube, Twitch. There's so many ways, you know what I mean? You just kind of gotta put your mind to it and figure it out.
Did any particular like big producer inspire you? I know you've mentioned a few people, but any of them inspire you, and then are any of them kind of like mentoring you at the moment? Or do you see them as mentors?
Yeah, like I've definitely like went to like a bunch of people on my come up for advice and stuff. Boy Wonder, I went to for a lot of advice. Sunny Digital, Scott Storch, Timbaland, a lot of people, you know. I feel like a big thing is when you're coming up and stuff, and like wherever you are, it's just like you got to put your pride to the side. I'm never scared to like ask questions or call someone's phone like, hey, what do you think about this? Or like when I was coming up, I'd be like, how did like you sign a producer? Or like when should I sign a publishing deal? Or like, should I use this as a tag? Like, you know what I mean? Like I remember like I had the song with Baka, and Sunny Digital was in Toronto, and I was like, yo, like listen to this song, like I have a Baka, and when he said like Murda on the beat, so it's not nice, and I was like, yo, like should I use this as like a tag? He was like, and he heard it, and he was like, yeah, like you might as well try to use it or something. Like you never know, it could work, you know what I mean? So then that's how I kind of started first using the Murda on the beat, so it's not nice tag. After Sunny kind of like told me, you know, because I know Sunny had a couple tags at the time and stuff, so I was like, damn, like I only had the Momo Murda, so I was like, shit, I might as well start using a couple of them.
Yeah.
And now I have fucking tags from everybody, you know?
Yeah.
Melly, Kodak, Drake, Perp, Quavo. I think I have like an Offset one I never used before. The Baka one. The Momo Murda one. I bought the Momo Murda one off some guy on like Twitter. He had like a SoundClick or something. I sent him like $20 on PayPal and he made that one for me.
So do you think tags are important then for every producer, or do you think that's...
I do. I feel like it's important to have an identity, you know? Even back in the day, DJs had drops and tags and stuff, so that's kind of like how I got my recognition. Because on the mixtapes and stuff, there wasn't like a lot of credits and stuff, you know what I mean? Like I would like tell them like, yo, produced by Murda Beatz in the title of the song. But then if I could tag up the beat, then people would know who to go for, like who to buy beats off of and stuff, you know?
If you could sum up in one sentence the best bit of advice you can give to any upcoming producer right now, what can you say to them? It doesn't have to literally be one sentence, actually. You have more to say, obviously.
Just trust your gut, and like, if you really like, just like go for what you believe in, and your network is your net worth. So, you know what I'm saying? Build that network up, build your relationships. Don't be scared to get in front of people. Build your face card. And I don't know, I just feel like don't listen to people. Like, if you feel like this is like something you want to do, and like anything in life, it's just like, if you really want to do something and you know it's a passion of yours, just go for it. Because you don't want to be doing something you don't like to do, you know? You want to just go for it, you know? And then if it doesn't end up happening, it's like you can't point the fingers at anyone else, it's just you, so, you know? And keep God first.